I was letting you.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead. Ramble. You've been waiting to talk to us about Carl slash Amrook's drunken. Go ahead.
Okay. So we had already agreed that we weren't doing this. You and Reed went back. No, 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 no. We said we weren't doing it that evening. Yeah, you could flow this any way you want. We're like, no, we're not doing this. This is a bad idea. And then we get Keltram's father drunk, and we're like, we're doing this outside of the city. Cool. You leave Griswold. Leave Griswold, the only sober one there. And you guys are like, we're gonna go talk to this. Amrook's like, fuck it.
All right. So time out. Have you ever been around a group of drunk? Is that not like dead on accurate as to what would happen?
Look,
Oh, on point.
They would say, "Leave the party pooper. We're fucking going to
I
drink
am.
some more."
Here's the thing. I'm not saying it wasn't appropriate because that's what you guys would have done. I'm just saying it was a bad idea. It was pretty funny though. I'm like, you and the fact that your father has fucking wall of force or something,
That's awesome.
that
That
was
was funny.
bullshit.
He
It was pretty
drunkenly
funny.
cast Wall of Forest.
I want to know if Garrett randomized that and he was like, I'm gonna just randomly pick a spell and see what happens. That was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, fuck this dude. Fuck this dude.
I gotta say, probably favorite top two.
Oh yeah, definitely top 5 for me. Definitely top 5.
Griswold can be as pissed as he wants. We were doing it, but honestly, I could see Grizz and Evan's body language change the farther we got.
Uh-huh.
It was
Yeah.
interesting to.
It I okay, well let's touch on that and I'll tell you why. Oh, I'm
There
so
he
glad
is. I got you. I
Ryan
got
joined.
him.
I'm so glad he joined because I've got a question for the entire party after this.
Mhm.
So once we were there, it was a got to do this anyways,
Okay.
and I'm like, we're already talking to it. We're already giving it information, so might as well just.
Beat the shit out of it, right?
Oh, I was ready. If that thing would have flinched, I swear to God, if that thing would have flinched, I was ready to I didn't have any spell slots left, but I was just sitting there ready because you were technically prone at that point and restrained. If you would have if that thing would have flinched, I was just gonna start hammering. I was itching. That thing pissed me off so bad.
I guess I didn't roll at advantage for my dagger, did I?
Oh no.
You
All right.
you would have been a disadvantage because I used protection.
Oh yeah, you gave me disadvantage.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think Reed was just ready to kill you as well, which was
I think
I
Reed
wasn't
was
ready.
making a. Grizz was,
Yeah, you were there out of spite. I was
yeah.
sending a message.
Fight's a good.
I was
Grizz was
100%.
pissed off at.
Every one of you, 100%. 100%.
Which is, I mean, understandable. In the sober one, but I still think it completed.
Oh, it
We
was
probably progressed the RP in that one session, or in one session. My personal opinion.
Mhm.
if
Oh yeah.
if you take out the this was just a generally a bad idea, 100%. The backstories, things popping out, absolutely. It was a holy shit.
Let's
It was
be real
good.
here. This is the only time we actually did something we said we were going to do in a reasonable amount of time.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong on that.
You keep saying bad idea. On one hand, I get how it could have gone wrong, but hold my beer, man. This could work out really where I was at.
It, six in one, half a dozen in the other. It was. I'm glad it went well. I'm glad it has gone well so far. I'm curious to see what shiny object Garrett's going to throw in front of us because you know he's going to. We have 3 questions left. This thing is analyzing us to a T and asking all sorts of questions. Everyone's drunk and giving this thing information. Garrett's about to throw a shiny object. Like this is the perfect softball pitch for Garrett to throw something random at us.
The
I
object's already
guarantee.
been thrown. Go get the
It-
scepter for me, and I'll give you moons.
I think he's going to do more. I think there's more. I think he's going to try to distract us. I think. Yeah.
Keegs, what's your side of things? I know Warwick's been feel about the backstory. Or I think Warwick and Reed had a little.
I think we learned a lot about Reed.
I don't think he did.
I don't know.
I think
I-
we learned a bit.
A little bit.
Confirmed some, and we learned that there's something there. We may not have learned what it was, but we learned that hey, something.
I think we learned that as long as we continue to pay Reed enough, I think he'll be with the party. Or
You,
as he,
you
as long
haven't
as he
paid me
continues
anything.
to get, as long as he continues to get stuff from our adventures, I think we're fine. Other than that, I mean, I'm glad we dug into uh, the entity a little bit, but this also confirms that the party is not going to listen to Warwick whatsoever. So Warwick's going to take a
true.
step back, and somebody else
true.
can lead the party.
Question. Let's toss this softball back up to Amrook here. So since Amrook now has, we think, control of this entity, I'm curious to. I'm
I wouldn't say
like
that.
at least a
Temporary.
truce,
Yeah,
temporary truce. Is Amrook going to step up and start leading the party now that it's a? Why not?
Well, I mean, there's definitely more backstory written there.
Oh, sure.
As to whether he believes he can control this or not.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he's basically in the same. So if I tries to take control of it again, because this time I got it, guys, and the entire party died. So
Why did when the entity was questioning Caldrum and Caldrum, I think you said that you're the biggest worry for the party, which I think surprised everyone. If I remember how that was worded correctly,
I do.
I think everyone's head was like, I think, and I'm pretty sure Ryan, like I saw Ryan go like this kind of deal.
Reed, he mentioned Reed even. I want to jump in there. I completely agree.
Can both of you explain that? Eric, from your perspective, why did Keldrum say that? And then Amrook, Carl, why? I'm so cute. That threw me off
Nope.
so bad, so hard.
Nope.
So for me, understanding trust the most has the most. Trust the most has the to fail you or to harm you. He's the one that everybody, whatever his uh, demons are, he has the most. The one who always fucks you over, you know what they're gonna do. They can't hurt you. Like you can only let them. When you trust, they're the ones that.
Yeah, it's the polar opposite of Reed. Well, you. I feel like how Reed plays, it's pretty obvious that he's not 100% motivated by helping the party. So
I would take a stretch there and say 99.9 outwardly non-altruistic. What that 0.1% don't yet might be different.
mhm.
It's actually funny. I think Caldrum probably, if he was asked who's he trusts the most, he's going to say Reed.
Can you explain that one?
I think he understands what he understand. I think he feels that he understands Reed. He understands
Motivations.
what. Yes, where
Ah.
everybody else is
Interesting.
questionable. Is questionable.
True. True.
I would put Grizz up there on the just not knowing. Grizz is a bit of a wild card, and without tensions understood how you're going to get there, nobody has.
I think it also depends on the scenario we're in with Grizz.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's something he's really motivated to do, there's nothing. It seems like there's nothing he won't do to get what he wants.
No, all depends. All depends. It all depends on the cause.
All depends the cause. I think is where Keldrum flip flops a little bit.
Well, I'm
Like-
not gonna I'm not
like-
gonna. When you say everything, I'm not gonna go out and just murder a bunch of bystanders to, to get whatever I want.
What if those bystanders, Aaron?
Oh, in that case,
Well,
yeah. In
So
that
that's
case,
what he's saying.
that-
Like it depends on the situation.
that's the thing. I know Reed would sacrifice the party for the greater cause, for the greater good cause. Am I correct in assuming that
Oh, I don't know that one.
I'm asking Ryan. Am I safe to kind of assume that?
You'd be correct.
Where I think everybody else would falter on that.
I think it'd be a tough decision.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, so it's funny. So since you say that, I'm gonna actually tell you, just so everyone's aware, I'm actually gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, as long as depending on if Garrett throws any shiny things. I'm actually, because I feel the opposite about Reed, and I haven't picked up on that. It's more of a who's gonna pay me the most. And there's a lot of back and forth with the party members about who trusts who and everything. Griswold's actually going to hold the party next tonight if we have time and say we need to put everything behind us, because if we're not moving forward now, just putting everything aside and trusting each other, then we don't need to do this as a party. Because if we can't trust in each other that we're going to have each other's backs or do the right thing, like to save Farron, and that even means sacrificing someone from the party. Like if I trip and get caught up, and it's a decision of whether to save me or take out Imrith, you better believe that I should be sacrificed to kill Imrith. Griswold's literally gonna hold the party and say, if we can't agree upon that, like I'm not going. If I can't trust everyone in this party, then there's no reason.
Okay.
100%.
Would you sacrifice Gabriel?
If it meant saving the greater good, yeah, absolutely. 100%. That's what. Both. I don't care if it's both. 100%.
I'll let you interpret that.
Because that's, it's what it comes down to is Griswold's oath, or to basically take care of evil. If I have to, if you have to think about that one, Griswold hasn't gone off and tried to save Gabriel yet. That's evidence enough right there. I've known about Gabriel being in trouble for how long now, and I haven't tried to sway the party. I even said at one of the Fishers that we should even just nix this and move on to Imrith. That's proof enough. So yeah, Griswold would sacrifice the entire party, Gabriel, whoever, to save for the greater good. But if the party can't trust each other moving forward, we shouldn't do this. That's at least how Griswold feels.
I don't think it's a matter of trusting everybody. That's not how Keldrum is feeling about it. He does generally trust everybody.
Trusting that we'll make the right decisions to when it's on the line. Like if we go to Imrith and making sure that we're all on the same page, that if we have to sacrifice someone, it is what it is, but also that everyone's going to have each other's backs. Like we're not plotting against each other, because I think that's a big question. That's at least something that I picked on from the last session, that everyone's there's a lot of skepticism in the group of who trusts, like who's working with who in the backgrounds, like Nasana or whoever.
The only two that really affects is those are the only two that I know that have been questioned
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
So that's why I'm just this a whole party issue. Grizz doesn't trust Reed or Warwick.
It's
I think it's more than just Reed and Warwick though, because there's Althea who died and got resurrected by Nasana. We still don't know anything about Galdrim's backstory or what he's doing.
we
You
don't know
have this
Plank,
entity that we're not sure how it can control you.
and
I
we
think
don't know
and
Plank.
then we just met Clink,
Plank.
whatever the what the fuck is his name? Clink.
He's the robotic like Keanu Reeves.
I love it.
That's what I'm looking at it.
And
Seriously.
Reed actually doesn't have it. Reed was more curious as to why Keldrum would say himself, and it didn't really affect how he feels about trusting him. It was more of a, oh, I really thought you would pick someone else. I didn't think you'd pick yourself. And for Warwick, I told Keegan this. The main reason that Reed is skeptical of Warwick's intentions is how quickly he was able to be very good and do the right thing. To Reed, it wasn't a natural, like, coming off of your old ways and working. It was more of a hard stop. And Reed's wondering when that goes back. When do you relapse, Warwick?
Cold turkey.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah.
And as far as the question about trust, I don't think recollection or thought process in brought back, but might be helpful to
Uh-huh.
as far as Brooke. The entity's there, so we either don't go to Imrith or rely on a potential dig any deeper than
I just the main reason I'm doing this is just that everyone we all understand because we always get the questions and stuff. The main reason is just to say, hey, look, regardless of what everyone else is going to do, like as long as we know that this group, like we're going to have each other's backs moving forward, and we're not going to like continue to question each other. That's really the ultimate thing. Like let's just bring some kind of clarity to some of the things that have been brought up, and that's really what the overall message is that we're going to have each other's back. But also we understand that someone's probably going to die, and it's all accepting that. And as long as we're good with that, then hey, let's move forward and do it. But I feel that if we don't, like, we're only as strong as the weakest link, and if we don't like at least understand that everyone's going to have each other's backs, then those links can break super quick. At least from Griswold's perspective.
I'm gonna throw something out. So the way I'm hearing you say about it is not a question of trust, not a question of we trust that we all have each other's backs. You're talking about cause. You're talking about are we all committed? This is the number one priority, and there is no backing down. If you have any intention of backing down, that's a commitment, not a trust.
Well, I'm not gonna call it out, but Reed did 100% admit that he's open to the biggest bidder. Now, mind you, also intoxicated while he said it. I'm not
You
gonna
all
call
are,
that
though.
out. Huh?
Was that right?
If somebody offers you to save Farron,
Yeah.
you're all
Well, I mean, but if
submitting
someone's
to
gonna give you like 10,000 gold, we don't know what your
I think
price.
the difference from Evan and Griswold's point of view, they would do it without any loot involved.
Yeah.
Kind of like what's. But again, I think what we're trying to dictate here that no one's gonna leave. We're all in on this. Not all in. That's an all in commitment. Correct me if I'm wrong in saying that that's my interpretation.
I think there's a little bit of I think it's a little bit of both. I think I think both the trust and the commitment some of it overlaps a little bit. It's not necessarily the same thing, but you do have a little bit of that overlap in there. And that's like I want to know that there's trust with the group, but I also want to know that we're committed to, whatever it is to save Farron, even if we find out that Imrith's not the big bad and we have to keep going, that we're not going to screw each other over, meaning that Reed's not going to like if Reed was like, hey, Nasana, like if Nasana came up to Reed or Warwick, who the fuck ever, and said, I'll give you God power if you just fucking kill the Phandalin 5. I think I also want, like Griswold wants to know that they're not going to take that offer. Like we're in it for the good here to like save
And
Farron.
and Reed may or may not, in response, say, "Give me back the Dragon Slayer and the lamp and anything else I've given you."
In order to, you mean?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I don't follow.
He's saying once you make your statement, if he disagrees and says, "No, I'm not all in for that. I'm not giving my Baron. I need you to give me my items back. Go myself."
I mean, there's no way you're getting the dragon. I don't think anyone from the group would give you the Dragon Slayer. We decided to do that, and it's used to go get Imrith. I mean, I don't.
Yeah. I think that's the point Reed's trying to make.
I'm still not following.
Reed gave the Reed could have said, "I found."
He could have. He found that all on his own. He could have easily pocketed it, and none of us not
True.
even known that there was a Dragon Slayer.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, I'm still asking the party this regardless.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, just the commitment. But that's a great point to bring up. That's 100%. But also when you say that when Reed says that he's going to, he's pretty much for the highest bidder. That's, I mean, I think it's more meta not to question that than it is to let it go.
Where do you
Yeah, I
weigh
don't disagree.
in on that? If Anna said, "Listen, I'll give you every city." Oh, wasn't that like your biggest intent to start out with? You wanted real estate everywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So how does that change? Where does it change, and why?
I like that.
It's really changed over the last. Well, it changed quick. Because one thing, Warwick's got. There's a lot to Warwick's backstory dealing with other people in his life that kind of fell to the wayside for a little bit, and seeing how the party interacts, and the thing that's inhabiting you, and Osmoroth reaching out to me, and Asana still potentially being, a big thing. Like there's a lot of stuff that we just don't know about people, and this is the first time he's really felt like he's had a family since Big Al, and he kind of forgot what that felt like. So he doesn't want to do anything to mess that up, and that's why he feels that the Osmoroth thing might be a bigger deal than he's kind of leading on, and he's worried that that's going to affect the party. So that's kind of causing him to. He doesn't want to lose control like Amric, right? At any point in time, Amric could get shit faced, potentially lose control, or when he rages, or just at any point in time. We don't know, right? It's kind of a question. We're hoping it doesn't happen, and it seems like we're kind of gaining some ground with this thing, which is awesome. But we just don't know at any point in time if this thing could take over Amric or not. That's a $1 million question, and it's awesome. So he doesn't know, knowing that Nasana or whoever else has his blood, he doesn't know what they can do. So he's trying to, in every situation, make sure that he doesn't put himself in a bad situation, i.e., part of the reason why he's tried to talk us out of getting into as many battles as we have. Part of the reason why now he's thinking fighting the fire giants might not make sense, because what happens if he dies? What happens if he somehow loses control or something takes over him? He doesn't want to do anything to the party.
About this, I had this thought, not to completely go sideways here,
Chaos Goblin.
I love it.
Man,
but instead of attacking the fire giants, instead of attacking Imrith herself, instead of going to Mirabar, what if we attacked one of her offspring?
listen, I said this. I'm not. You know what? I'm just gonna mute myself.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You
No,
did
no,
say
no.
it. We talked about it.
I said this weeks and weeks ago that I do not want to face 3 dragons, and my biggest fear is that we're gonna walk in Amherst layer, not knowing in the layout. I mean, it's gonna be a shitty layer anyway. There's gonna be layer actions. There's gonna be all kinds of stuff that we don't expect. That's fine. We could probably get through that. We'll probably end up killing Emrith, but if we have to fight Emrith, go through her lair, and fight 2 of her kids, we ain't making it out alive. I don't think there's any way we make it out. Personally,
I doubt her kids would be in that fight. Maybe. I mean, it could be a possibility. But it's. Go ahead.
I completely agree, Keegan. I remember you saying it.
Yeah, I do remember you saying that. Yeah.
Saying, hey, that could be potential, and then you said, I'll reach out to Felgolos. Never heard it.
no, I definitely told you about Fogolos, that he completely lost trail, doesn't know anything about it, and he even followed up on the whole Gnawbone thing, that he knows about Gnawbone, and some type of large horde took out Gnawbone, and that's the only thing he told me. That was it. The only guy. Totally fine though.
We don't know where they're at, so
oh yeah, for sure.
That becomes the shiny object.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, if we want to go in and I just like I go back to the how smart is Imrith type thing. She knows we're gonna come after the scepter. Hecaton's gonna come after the scepter.
Exactly.
She anticipates it, so she may not get along with her kids, and I know there's a territory thing, but for her to be like, hey, you need to be here for a little bit. This is what mommy says, and then you can go off and do your own thing. At that point in time, like if she's beating us, she can give them whatever land or territory they want in Farron. So it might make sense for them to team up and try to beat us. I don't know. Big concern of mine. I don't want to fight 3 dragons. One's scary enough.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Would Keldrum use? I think I'm not trying to meta here. I'm just because Griswold will ask in game if we need to, but I'm just curious. Would you use commune? Like if we asked, would you use commune more often, or even your channel divinity to try to divine intervention, not channel divinity, excuse me. Would I know you can. Would Keldrum do that, or would Keldrum see that as abusing the powers of Mystra? Like if you kept using your divine intervention every day until it happened to succeed.
For what?
I mean, as simple as like, if we use commune, like knowing, or maybe it's divination. I can't remember which one. To know the location of where the dragons are. Or if you used the suns are, or if you use divine intervention to try to separate the entity from Amrook, or even just having the scepter, like have the scepter. And I don't know if that's extending the powers of the spell. I don't know, but like, does Keldrum see that as abusing the powers of Mystra if you were to continually try?
Here's the fear that I always get in using stuff like that is how is the DM going to treat that? So if I say I wish we had the possession of the scepter in my hand right now. All of a sudden, I'm teleported to Mirobar, and me and the
Maraschino
cherry are both grabbing on the scepter at the same time.
Oh, for sure.
Yourself.
And yeah.
Well, that's where like, yeah.
Or kill Emrith. Okay. All of a sudden, the whole party is teleported to Emrith's lair, and that's how she's going to have to die.
And that's where the group we may have to decide that maybe it's not something as extreme as that per se, but maybe if we found something else, like maybe it's the locations, or could we ask Mystra? Could be like, hey, every day we're gonna ask Mystra for non-cursed legendary items to fuck with Garrett. Could we do that?
I mean, sure. I mean, we can do
Too
that.
far? Too far? Not far enough?
I mean,
May get a rock of gravity.
Yep.
That's not a legendary item, and I'm still pissed about losing that, by the way. But
Does the DM?
That would be amazing. I would love to have a legendary rock of gravity detection. I've always thought about that though, is using divine intervention, but I like I know the limitations per the text, but I don't know the limitations
Yeah,
per how Garrett's playing that.
yeah. I mean, it's
based on
pretty much a yeah,
What was
it's
that,
pretty
Carl?
much a wish.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a wishbone.
all right, Keegs. I got to circle back to it. I can't. Um, so Warwick's pissed that the party wouldn't listen to him about not doing this. Yay or nay?
No, he's not pissed. He's been watching and observing and trying to lead the party as best he could, and yeah, it doesn't seem like it's working. So he's gonna slowly take a step back.
How do you what do you
Perspective. Go
why
ahead.
why do you say that?
I was
Um,
going to ask the thing because I see it the other way.
um,
Because like 90% of the time, we do pretty much agree on your suggestions.
I think we agree on what makes like the next logical step. I don't think it's more
Yeah.
of a like if I said if okay, yeah, I guess the biggest thing is if I said after we all sobered up,
Mm.
if I said, "Hey, we're not going to the Fire Giants. It is best for us to go to Candlekeep, whatever, some other place outside of the Fire Giants or whatever." And I came
Mhm.
up with some type of, "Hey, this will help us get better information," or something that would be slightly logical. The party would not follow, or at least Warwick doesn't feel that way. Warwick doesn't feel that the party would say, "We don't agree with you, but we trust your leadership. We're going to follow you."
Well, there's a difference between following
Between
blindly,
yeah,
Right, but
following
well,
in a
that's that.
democratic way.
yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Like if there was a logical sense to it that yeah, it could help us. It makes sense.
Yeah,
Or we could just go fight
if
Emirates.
Warwick said that, and it made logical sense, and a couple people agreed, I fully anticipate the party would go.
Well, that's what I
I
mean.
think they would follow.
That's what I mean. There would have to be like 3, 4, 5 people would have to be like, "Oh yeah, we agree. Let's go." It wouldn't be a "We trust your leadership. We're going to do this. Lead the
But do
way."
you want a
That's
party
just
that
that's just
does
how work.
Warwick
That's
want
just how
a
work.
party that follows him blindly? Because I don't think
Yeah.
you're going to get that.
No, no, no. I don't think
Well,
he
that's
doesn't
what you
want
just
anybody.
described. You said if Warwick said we're doing this for these reasons, let's go. You said Warwick feels that the party would follow.
No, there would have to be some type of logic behind it that made sense for us to go. Like I don't want everybody that's going to say like, as if everybody says, "Hey, yeah, let's do that. This is great." Logically, like everybody came up with it and it made sense logically for everyone. Let's just do it. I feel like Warwick could take a step back and we would still make those decisions. And that's just kind of how he feels, and that's perfectly okay because the whole point of him trying to take leadership, and you and I have talked about this offline, is Warwick doesn't want to lead the party overall. He has no intentions of staying leader of the party whatsoever. He wants you to be in a semi, or Amrook to be in a semi redeeming property to do that, right? So he's seen like the Amrook says, "No, we're going to go into a void." I'll keep going back to it because it's true, right? That's just how Warwick feels. Not we're just going to do this. If I die, I die. Or, nah, casual war, we can go do it. Not necessarily a best idea, but we're going to do it anyways. Or like the getting shit faced and contacting this thing, even though before we were shit faced, we all agreed we need to have a plan going into it. And there was no plan, right? So it's just like those little things. He's starting to see things, so he's just going to slowly kind
Yeah.
of take a
But
step back and
there's
see how the
there's a
party does things.
difference. There's a difference, though, I think, between a leader
Sure.
and being the spokesman for the group.
Sure.
I don't think we have a leader, and I don't think we
Right.
need one. I don't
Right.
think we need one.
Well, and I think that's kind of it. Like, I have no problem speaking, being a charisma based character. I have no problem speaking and kind of seeing what makes sense. But yeah, I don't think like the whole leader thing is, I don't
I
think it
mean,
needs to be there.
spokesman, in this sense, I think means like the chair, the person who's going to lead the conversation of,
Mhm.
hey guys, what do we want to do next? Thoughts, open it up. That's
Yeah,
the type of leadership or
yeah,
chairmanship we operate on.
Mhm.
So when you're saying leader, it's not necessarily what was happening. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody in the
Yeah, and I think maybe that's the confusion for Warwick because, and even Keegan, right? When I think of a leader, I don't think of just someone who's going to say, "Hey, these are a few thoughts. Let's figure it out democratically." Because you're right, there is absolutely no leader in that aspect, right? Because we all have our little differences. But when Keegan and Warwick, whenever he looks at things, because he's been part of mercenary groups and stuff where there is somebody who is the leader. This is the person we follow. They come up with the plan. This is what we're doing. That's not happening at all, right? And that's kind of the position that he, since nobody was really stepping up and doing it, that's kind of how he's seen things or thought things were going to happen from his past, and it's not happening, and that's okay. He's kind of realizing what makes sense for this party, and that's cool.
I think those type of leaders are great in free, but playing
Sure. Yeah. Oh,
there's
absolutely.
too much decision making, one sided.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Of course. Hey, do you
I
have
mean, it
Heroes
makes
Feast, by the way? Side note.
I do, but my problem is I have one spell slot for that level.
Wait,
I
one
was
spell
just
slot for
curious.
what? One spell slot for what?
Heroes.
You have a
For
chalice?
I do.
Heroes Feast. You have Heroes Feast?
Yeah.
I was.
We
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about it a while back.
But it's one of those things. Do we do Heroes Feast or do you guys want heal?
Yeah.
I personally, going into a
Oh.
fight with Emerith, knowing that Heroes Feast causes us not to be frightened, I would take Heroes Feast all day.
Yeah, but what if I can do instead of that? What if I do Beacon of Hope, where you get wisdom bonus checks anyway? You get the advantage on wisdom checks anyway.
I think Heroes Feast gives you advantage on wisdom.
Yeah.
And you can't be poisoned.
I can't be
No,
frightened
look,
regardless.
creatures.
So...
It says it cures. No, it says it becomes immune to poison and being frightened, and
Oh,
makes
okay.
all wisdom saving throws with advantage. I mean, it's just personal opinion because doesn't Beacon of Hope have a radius? And I don't think we're
Yeah,
all
it
going to
does.
be clumped together too.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Heroes Feast, and I don't think because this raises.
It also lasts 24 hours. But you could prepare Heroes Feast. Have it the
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Actually, Heroes Feast the night before.
Mhm.
Following day, I cast Aid at 6th level. Then we take the potions of giant strength. We're gonna
And
have
then we
like
get
400 hit points.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not that many, but that's
Guys,
just
why aren't we just going into Emerith right now, knowing all of that? Because I didn't add all that up, like all of those hit points and
I've
stuff.
been
Let's just
saying that for weeks, like that's what we're gonna have.
go fucking kill her.
Because the problem is we're not going to get to Imra's Lair and then fight Imra.
Oh no. We're
It's
gonna
gonna
call
we
it
get
out.
we get to Imra's Lair and we're gonna have to fight this. We're gonna have to fight that. We're gonna have to. There's gonna be this trap. There's gonna be that trap, and
Of
we're
course,
gonna get
G
to
has to
Imra.
wear us down a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, for
exactly.
sure. Because yeah, I don't know. I am a little bit worried if she has a throne.
I mean,
but
I had. I mean, Heroes Feast is like I said. I can only take. It's only smart enough right now for me to take prepare one spell at that slot.
sure.
Once we get the next level, and then I'll start keeping that on the back burner, and we'll be able to cast that whenever.
If we level up.
So I'm hearing Fire Giants.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
That's why I want to go to the fire.
That's
why I want to go to the fire giants so we get levels.
Do we think we're gonna make it early enough in the morning with everyone hammered to teleport back to Hecaton, or do you think Garrett's gonna mess with us?
All right. Well, I think
No,
we'll
we
make it
get back.
Think
We'll get back.
there
We got
some disadvantage.
Exhaustion.
I don't
Yeah.
think our plan isn't to jump straight in the morning, right?
right.
I hope not.
Have you ever thought about character asking the party what they think about that? Want it? You know where you're at in that scale. You might be, have a mindset that this is what you need, and I'm gonna give it to you. When that's the resistance you're feeling.
No, I think I think he's thought about asking it, but knowing the answers that a lot of people are probably going to give, or knowing that Reed gives interesting answers to a lot of things, and not and I trust that going into battle, most of the people are going to have best interests in mind, but I don't know if I trust everything that everybody says, you know. And then coupled like that, coupled with everything that he's just thinking about and worrying about, he's totally fine, kind of like stepping himself out of it. Actually, he's kind of relieved, to be honest with you, because he's worried that, you know, at some point in time something's going to happen to him that's going to hurt the party, and he doesn't want to do that. So the more he can kind of take himself out of things and not be a type of focal point, he's kind of okay with.
Fair. I think it might leave a little void. Fills it.
Oh, I'm not saying he's going
Chamb3r.
anywhere. I'm just saying he's not
Chamb3r.
gonna.
Yeah, I don't think you have to go anything. I think you filled a Warwick for the group. That was they call leadership, not you form of leadership, fine, but situation group needs
Sure.
group. It's did a pretty decent. Yeah, there were some certain people like Amrook were assholes and pushed buttons, happened to be trigger points, had a domino effect. But I think I agree with Eric's percentage there. 90% of the time, that focus aligned our goals, and I think without that, someone focusing that, there's a
We'll see.
Shit.
so I
Oh,
don't know.
sneeze.
I think there's a difference in thought process of what
There definitely is. There absolutely is. And I think that's the fun part about the story, right? I mean, we're 4 years into friendships and deaths and revives and everything with everybody, and now we're just starting to scratch the surface about who everybody is. This is the fun part, right? This is where all the conflict and stuff comes up, and we really get to ask questions and learn about each other. I like it.
I'm definitely in what happened to
Oh yeah.
Fightful. I don't think it was time for Amrook to dig.
Yeah, there's something about his former teacher, I believe, or master.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm really excited for that one.
Hmm.
Good to read. Never follow game.
Oh, there's no really.
That's for Reed. I think that's a legitimate question. If you show him
In
that there's positive, isn't the distant curious.
follow in what way?
Not necessarily an outward true and fair will
What is Gabriel's
tenants.
what's yeah, what's her like domain or his?
It's more of the oaths, just to basically track down evil and obliterate it from eternity, pretty much. It's basically it's all the tenets
Oh,
from the oath of vengeance.
okay.
That you basically have a hard fast like big evil.
Hmm.
And that's the interesting thing right now is that we thought it was like the reason why Griswold has the oaths was to track down all the evil from the Fishers. And I've had back and forth conversation with Gabriel about this, and it's well, the Fishers are there, but the whole thing with the giants and Imrith could really be a prime evil right now. So like there's been a little bit of back and forth with that, and it's been agreed that whatever is causing the overall chaos, which we think it's Imrith at the moment, that's the big bad. And it's basically to go track that down and cut its head off with no mercy whatsoever.
Now knowing that, what Eric would follow Gabriel and not necessarily worship outwardly, but at a, devotes himself a little bit.
Probably not.
Would he devote himself to?
Um, it would probably take, and devote's a weird word to use for Reed. He would probably assist what other people consider gods.
You're kind of doing that. He does that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Devote. I'm not asking you Church of Gabriel Sunday. Hey, yeah, I kind of believe it in that guy's cause, and I'm aligned with that. I'm a push that.
He would align with causes, yeah. And he essentially see people as, or gods as, almost like companions.
Got about
'Cause,
6 minutes left. Anybody else have anything from last session? Yes. Do you have anything that they would say where they would like?
Where are we going next? Maelstrom, right?
bed, probably.
Bed, then Maelstrom. I think that's
Yeah.
about as far as we have. Does anybody have their question?
Kel-
Oh, no.
Caldrum does want to go. Caldrum does want to go back into Silvery Moon. He does want to do a little bit more research. One thing we haven't researched is the territory. We have not researched the Anarok Desert.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah, we got that a long time ago too.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of lore that came from Earth thing. It
yeah,
talks about
but
the Rock Desert because pretty much has the whole Anarok. So that lore talks about storms,
mhm.
things. So if you go back in,
Yeah.
did get
Nah,
that.
I just wanted. I mean, of course, Keldrum wants some detail, like history and everything else, and see if he comes across. I'm curious on what I come across if I come across the things that I know or not.
I did have a thought, and I'll throw this out. Carl having a Warwick and Caldrum would have, but put spell magic.
Nah, spell it's third. Yeah.
So my thought was we encountered a living stat that was that's like Immerduek is
Yeah.
Yeah.
spell magic worked against. We have some in the hurt.
I have dispel magic. I do, but I use
Yeah.
that. That's my 3rd level smiting time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Your muscle wizard, your entity doesn't have dispel magic?
Oh, the entity.
Well, if you rage, I mean, you're good to go, bro. Just
I
let
don't
it
know
take
how
over.
that's going to work. I don't know what boons that will happen, and doesn't that put you in the situation that we're worried about already? I think there's cause for hesitation.
Oh,
Hello.
there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Um,
No hesitation on Reed's.
Nah, I love it.
I'm excited to see where tonight goes. I didn't even think we're making it out of Silver Moon today.
Yeah, we'll see. One last thing before we cut the stream, and then I do have to give a shout out to Bully. 152 full damage. I have the stats open. We didn't have time to do a stats chat, but I thought that was 300. I would give Warwick an assist. I don't think we have an assist chart, but I would give.
Nah. I thought about giving both of them the kill, and then just have 2 extra kills or an extra kill, but I didn't.
Dude, that'd be pretty good for Warwick.
Mhm.
Fucking. Oh my gosh. I would love to get level 13. I get a Pegasus at level 13. So yeah.
That's
13
cool.
is exciting level all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead
Yeah.
and end